Knowledge management and process modeling with the activity view. In this tutorial, you will become familiar with the KDML approach to capture knowledge in business processes. To start with, we can see a simple process example of a training plan in Model Angelo's process view. In this process perspective, we cannot see which knowledge is required and used to successfully complete the process. To understand the personal knowledge embedded in business processes, we need to use the Model Angelo knowledge perspective. To do this, we will change from the process view to the activity view. Model Angelo's knowledge perspective enables you to include a person's explicit and tacit knowledge and to make this visible in process models with only a mouse click. It is important to understand that with Model Angelo knowledge is modeled in the activity view in the knowledge perspective, whereas processes are modeled with the process view in the process perspective seen previously. Symbols, shapes and objects have the same meaning in both perspectives. If you have previously created a knowledge model in the activity view, you can link this to a process model by using an attribute. To learn how to do this, watch the video tutorials Attribute and Linking. We will now first show you different options how to switch between the process view and the activity view and vice versa. First option, look in the process view at the task Set up training plan. The knowledge to do this was linked in attributes. To document the knowledge required to develop a training plan, a model was created with a knowledge perspective in the activity view, shown here as Knowledge for Training. Click on the arrow at the bottom right to access the other model. Second option. You can also switch between models by clicking on the tab below the top menu bar, or by selecting the other model in the Project Explorer on the right side. You can further switch between models by using the right mouse button. The link to the other model is symbolized by a star. First on the shape, then select Link Model with the right mouse button. You can create a new model with a knowledge perspective in the activity view using similar steps as in the process view. If you want to learn how to model the shapes, watch the two video tutorials, Process Modeling Part 1 and Part 2. On the left, look for nodes and edges to find new symbols you need for modeling knowledge. The symbol conversion stands for the meaning how knowledge is gained, transformed and transferred. A conversion has at least one input and one output shape. Label the conversion with an object and a verb. For example, set up training plan. Conversions are connected with knowledge objects in the form of input and output shapes. Knowledge objects are, for example, information object, knowledge object, and machine knowledge. In this example, set up training plan, the conversion has two inputs, IT training knowledge and machine knowledge, and one output, current training plan. IT training knowledge thus stands for knowledge object, and current training plan for information object. A knowledge object comprises the knowledge of a person or team, such as their competences, experience, skills and settings. Here we can see how Petra uses her extensive experience in IT training to create the training plan. Knowledge objects can be assigned to detailed attributes with different categories and thus also be evaluated mathematically. Important for the production. Aside from individual persons and teams, also machines can possess knowledge. In principle, their knowledge is modeled like human knowledge. Knowledge can also be extracted and transformed from physical objects. In addition, the symbol requirement illustrates the knowledge required to carry out a task successfully. Hereby, the requirement stands for what is needed, whereas knowledge objects, what you have. In this example, model the requirement IT training knowledge is required so that a training plan can be developed. Different conversion types describe the various ways in which knowledge is created, transformed and transferred. Look at the menu bar on the left side to find the corresponding symbols at edges. In the following, you will learn the meaning of externalization, internalization, and socialization. It is important to distinguish explicit knowledge from tacit knowledge. Explicit knowledge can be easily communicated and shared. It is therefore conscious, easily reproducible, and independent of persons. In contrast, tacit knowledge is difficult to communicate and highly personal. Tacit know-how can be subjective and intuitive. Externalization stands for the transformation and articulation of knowledge into tangible form and concepts. By using metaphors, analogies, or models, knowledge can be expressed in such a way that it is understood by third parties. In other words, knowledge can be externalized to create, for example, a document. In the example shown here, this is the case because Petra documented her long-standing IT training knowledge to create the current training plan. Internalization stands for transforming explicit knowledge into tacit knowledge, thereby internalizing it. Experiences and know-how are accumulated and integrated into an individual's mental model. The transformation can involve socialization, externalization, or combination. For example, in the model shown, Petra internalizes required company know-how by reading the old training plan and discussing it with colleagues. Socialization stands for the exchange of experience that occur while sharing tacit knowledge. Remember that a large part of tacit knowledge consists of experience and intuition. The conversion can occur in a private conversation, at a conference, by observation or imitation. With socialization, shown here with a green arrow, knowledge is usually exchanged or shared without documenting it. Situations can easily occur where that knowledge is not identified and lost, for example, when an employee retires or leaves the company. Monopolies of knowledge exist when only one person has the knowledge necessary to successfully complete a process. In the model shown, an analysis could expose that Petra has monopolies of knowledge and that the company needs to document this knowledge. The knowledge perspective in the activity view allows you to analyze if there is a need for further action. To create an analysis, select from the menu bar at the top first Analysis and then SQL Statements. Look for the new window opening at the bottom at Attributes. To enlarge the window, click in the middle of the gray point and pull the window upwards while holding down the mouse button. Under Select Statements, choose Analyze Current Model and click Send Statements to confirm. You can now view the results of your analysis in the window displayed. If you want to save your analysis as SQL file, use the function Save at the very bottom.